Across Africa, the soil tells a story of hands that plant hope, of women and men who rise with the sun, shaping the future of our food, our land, and our economies. This is AgriTalk Africa, the podcast that puts farmers first. We go beyond the headlines to bring you authentic conversations with people driving change in African agribusiness. From financial literacy to climate-smart farming, from the challenges of rural financing to the triumphs of innovation. We educate, we inform, and we inspire. Welcome to AgriTalk Africa, where agriculture meets action.
Hello and welcome to AgriTalk Africa. This is the podcast that brings the Africa's agricultural heartbeat come alive. I'm your host, Pinjani Nzima, also known as Uncle P. And of course, one thing you got to know is that the economies of Africa's countries, as well as the world at large, simply lies in agriculture. This podcast is proudly brought to you with the compliments of LC Investments. These are the people who are behind the publishing of the AgriTalk newspaper. And of course, they are the ones also who organizes the Farmers' Choice Awards and the AgriTalk Awards. So grab a seat and of course, take a hot cup of tea. Come along. Let's get into these conversations. Call your friend. Tell your friends. Ring them now. Uncle P is live on AgriTalk Africa. One thing you got to know is that on AgriTalk Africa, we simply talk agriculture. And I'm super duper excited this morning as we are hosting the man who does not just look at agriculture the way it is, but he relates closely with the farmers, the agripreneurs, and of course, those that provide the finance in order to enable these farmers to grow. I'm talking about him and him alone, no other than Mr. Alfred Mambwe, who happens to be the Agribusiness Manager of VisionFund. Mr. Mambwe, it's my pleasure to welcome you on the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure is mine.
Before we go into the nitty-gritties of our discussion or our conversation today, I would love him to briefly tell us about VisionFund and what the organization main focus is on agriculture and rural development. Mr. Mambwe, it's all yours. Tell us about VisionFund as well as your role just there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zima. I think my name, as you have introduced me, I'm Alfred Mambwe, and my role at VisionFund, I'm the Agribusiness Manager. I'm responsible for agricultural financing at VisionFund. VisionFund is a deposit-taking microfinance institution, and we offer various loan products, financial products. And one of our major target group is the smallholder farmers. And we offer them with various loan products tailor-made to their needs. We operate in 10 provinces of Zambia. We have about 26 branches across the 10 provinces.
How does VisionFund work differently from traditional lenders in order to serve these small-scale farmers? Where is the distinction there? How do you differ from these traditional banks? Because they also provide loan facilities. Just where is the distinction?
Yeah, as VisionFund, we are more focused on the child well-being. Mm-hmm. So our goal is to make sure that the child out there's well-being is improved.
Okay.
So by so doing, we believe in empowering small and medium businesses, women and their youth out there, with the financial products that can help them run successful businesses, thereby improving their income and food security, subsequently leading to improved well-being at household level. So we are more different from the other lenders because of our calling out there. God has called us to save the needy. So we provide them with affordable, tailor-made financial products that helps them improve their businesses and improve their income, and at the end have the food security at home. So the distinction is on the one, our targeting,
Yes, sir.
The people that we are targeting, and also the products that we are offering them. We offer them affordable financial products and services.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
And in your explanation, if I heard you clearly, you spoke about the calling that God has given on you. Would you safely say that this is Christian-oriented?
Yes, VisionFund is a Christian-oriented organization. We are based, our operation is based on our Christian beliefs and principles that we draw from the Bible.
So from the time that you started working with these small-scale farmers, of course, in the rural outskirts, what would you cite to be the very biggest pain or the very biggest problem that you've encountered and you've helped them to alleviate or to come out of that debacle?
Yes, I think for the biggest problem that smallholder farmers have, especially with regard to, is access to finance.
Yes, sir.
One of the major issues there is the production. They are unable to produce more because they are unable to have access to buy inputs.
Yes.
Inputs out there are expensive on the market.
Yes.
And they do not have the needed resource to buy. So with us coming in to give them the needed resource, which is the finance for them to buy the needed quality inputs, that helps them improve the production.
Yes.
So the biggest challenge I see most smallholder farmers that they face is to access cheaper, affordable finance.
Yes, sir.
To finance their farming in terms of procurement of inputs or equipment.
Okay.
To increase the production.
Okay.
Yes.
So would you say your coming in as VisionFund has really changed the scope, or has really changed their livelihoods? How have they improved from the time that you were not there up to where you are today?
Definitely, I think from the data that we have so far,
yes, sir,
we have contributed greatly to improving the livelihood of our smallholder farmers. One, in terms of production.
Yes.
I think production, with access to affordable finance, they have increased in terms of production, and also income at household level. And we have contributed to building asset base for our smallholder farmers.
Okay.
And also on nutrition-wise, definitely, because they have enough food, they are able to produce enough food, and which they are able to feed their families, and subsequently improving on the nutrition aspect.
When you are explaining it in this manner, it comes up with that positive energy, and of course it's very encouraging. But when we look at the statistics in terms of the productivity and the production, more especially from the smallholder farmers, you discover that most of them, they are still lying in the 2 million metric tons per hectare in terms of maize production. From your own understanding and from what you've gone through as VisionFund, would you say some of them have graduated from 2 million to somewhere around 4, 5, 6?
I do agree with you very well, and that has been a challenge that we have spotted as a financial institution. There's low production among our smallholder farmers. Yeah, I think this is a problem which requires concerted effort from all partners that are engaged in agriculture. Finance alone may not improve production.
Yes, sir.
We need also the extension part to come in. So that's why as VisionFund, we rely also working with partners, especially those that are able to provide the extension service to ensure that farmers have the necessary knowledge to produce for the market, for themselves and for the market.
Yes, sir.
So indeed, production has been a big challenge. We have low production, as you have likely to put it, on average.
Yes.
In Zambia, we find that it's less than 2.5 metric tons per hectare for a farmer. But we are supposed, the ideal standard always should have been more than 5 hectares per ton. So now, if you are financing such type of farmers with low production, definitely the aspect there comes in is the challenge in terms of repayment, because they are not producing enough. So for me, and the experience that I've had is that we can only address this problem, one, through the collaborations with other partners, especially the extension service part, which needs to be in line. Yes, finance alone, definitely we may not be able to increase the projected production among our smallholder farmers. And also, we are looking at diversification also.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's another challenge. We have farmers that are into monocropping, and purely you and me know for sure that a majority of our smallholder farmers, the major crop they are growing is maize.
Yes, sir.
And then we have a few that are doing rice production, but we don't have farmers. There are very few farmers that are diversified. So again, that also is a challenge for us who are in finance. Because for me, I want to look at the farmer who is the business focused. And if I'm going to measure the farmer who's business focused, I'm looking at the farmer who's well diversified. So for me, I think that reduces the risk other than me financing only one particular crop. So I think for us to increase the production and to have farmers well diversified, yes, finance should be there, we must be there.
Yes.
We need also other partners to be there.
Yes, sir.
In that case, we'll be able to improve the needed production that our farmers have, and also make the market very attractive for lending. For microfinance institutions like ours as VisionFund.
Probably, Mr. Mambwe, would you be in the right position to say from the best bottom part of your heart, which stakeholders would you love to collaborate with in terms of extension being provided? Would you state some of them?
Yeah, some of them, the major stakeholders, obviously is government.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the Ministry of Agriculture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which is a major stakeholder with a very wider network. They have got a good cadre of personnel out there. And also, we also have NGOs. Among them is World Vision Zambia, which also has an extension wing to promote livelihood. And we also have other organizations like the World Food Program. We also have FAO that are there, running various projects targeting at improving production. And many more NGOs that are out there that probably may not have been interacted with VisionFund, but I know there are many organizations that are into agriculture. So basically, especially those that are offering extension service.
Yes.
Other than that, we also look at the market aspect. I think that's probably we'll come back to.
Yes.
There will be an aspect of looking at challenges. The aspect of market.
Yes.
I think for me, finance, we talk about production, we also may talk about the market aspect. The farmers are unable to, they are producing, but they are unable to find market. Definitely, even us becomes a challenge to extend lending. Yeah, so I think we also look at the other players into the market aspect.
Mr. Mambwe, I feel super excited that you brought the issue of marketing, where these farmers are producing more than enough for what we can consume locally, I believe. And what really kills them is the lack of market. Imagine you've had your production, you have what you can take in, but where to take the rest? Would you safely say the market is not good enough within here? Because what I know is that in terms of maize, FRA is out there. They are buying what these farmers are producing. Would we say FRA alone is not enough?
Yeah, okay. In terms of market, definitely we have to be specific. Which crops are we looking at? Yeah.
If we say maize, do we have enough market for that?
The market is there, like you have rightly reported, government through the Food Reserve Agency.
Yes.
That is focused on buying maize.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think government alone and looking at the production or the number of farmers that are out there is not, may not be enough. Yeah? We need more players. But the question comes in is the pricing.
Okay.
That's another issue. Yes, we may be talking about the market. It's the issue of the pricing.
Yeah. So how the price?
How good is the price?
Okay.
Yes, I think currently now we see that the government just recently announced the price.
Yes.
And everyone is
240 kwacha.
Yeah, everyone is looking at, this is okay for now. Yeah. But other players that are into that market, are they offering the same price? As,
like the briefcase buyers?
Definitely briefcase buyers may not be offering this.
Should we test them?
No. For me, I don't like calling them briefcase buyers.
But
they are players in the market.
Players they are, but
they are playing a bigger role also.
Yes, I know.
That market.
Probably they go with briefcases where they carry their money is the one that name came from.
Yes, but yeah, the name itself it doesn't sound good, but let's call them their player.
Okay.
The market.
The name briefcase bars is not appealing.
No, it's not appealing.
Let's call them partners.
They're players in the market.
Okay.
They are playing it.
Let's take that role then.
Yeah. A role that everyone is also playing, and because some of them may reach areas where maybe these other well-established market players cannot reach. You have, for example, I think I see like the millers. I don't think they go in there in the rural,
the far-flung areas.
Yes, and those far-flung have got their own challenges, especially in terms of road network and communication. And those colleagues of ours, they go in and they be able to provide market for our smallholder farmers. Yes, the price may not be very attractive, but they have a role that they play also.
Okay.
If we remove them, definitely it will be something which is not more appealing. That will make production a bit more difficult for our smallholder farmers.
Okay.
But also I want to emphasize in terms of the crops that we are looking at. I earlier mentioned about diversification.
Yes.
So if we are looking at various value chains, maize is one of them, and we know for sure maize is a political crop. Yeah, there are a lot of players, interested players there. So let's look at farmers now moving to other high value crops. I think we can look at that. We have those value chains. Cotton, for example, is one of them. Although of it seems like it is going down.
It hasn't received much attention.
Yes. Cotton is one of them.
Okay.
I think previously, I think cotton used to do very well. There are these big players that were there. But of it now, farmers have really moved away from cotton.
Yes.
Obviously, because of maybe prices, so they're not good.
Yeah.
Which other crops can we look at?
You can also look at millet, sorghum.
Millet,
how good are those?
So those crops, definitely, they are very good. People have been producing those, but the market itself, the uptake is not that much.
Okay.
Yeah, so we see that, I think that has also hindered. If we could have a situation where we promote these same crops, millet, sorghum.
Okay.
Very lucrative markets where if we produce maybe 5 bags, you are able to get something with. But I don't think that's not the situation. I've seen some value addition on the sorghum.
Yes.
Things.
Yes.
We see Millimillion, especially in the Shoprite and others. But for me, I would love if it could receive the same attention like the way maize has received.
Because maize is probably the staple food. No wonder there's that good reception towards it.
Yeah, but if you say maize is a staple food, we have the same crops that you've mentioned, millet. There's some areas where they just depend on millet. Cassava, especially, for example, cassava.
Yes.
I've seen some areas where the meal is cassava.
Like in the northern province.
Yes, northern province. Cassava. For maize, they just end up selling it. Once they produce this, that's a cash crop for them. In some, especially in northwestern parts.
Yes, sir.
If you've been northwestern, northern part of Zambia, you find the major staple food there in most of the rural areas is cassava. For maize, they will produce and sell everything. Yeah. So I think for me, such crops also needs to be promoted. In short, is to strengthen these value chains.
Okay.
Currently, I see maybe a weakness in most of these value chains.
Okay.
And as a result, find that farmers are not much more into production of that. And also when it comes to financing, also it becomes a challenge if the market is not there.
Yes.
But I think that's the way to go for us, especially in terms of when you're trying to address the issue of climate change, because we find that since some of these crops, they are well drought tolerant.
Yes.
And they can suit in very well for our smallholder farmers. And they also, in terms of losses, they have minimum losses. And those will be attractive areas for financing our smallholder farmers.
Okay. This is AgriTalk Africa, where we talk agriculture. And of course, one thing you have to know is that on this podcast, we make sure that stories grow, voices matter, and the land is the one that leads our conversation. My guest today is Mr. Mambwe, who is the Agribusiness Manager right here at VisionFund. Mr. Mambwe, let's take a different angle. This time around, we're looking at climate change. This is a funny issue because it has brought a lot of devastation, and the impact is just very huge, the negative impact. So from your organization or from your understand where you are sitting there, do you have any climate smart tools that you've unveiled to the farmers to be very meaningful on the ground, looking at climate change? Are there any financial smart climate tools that you're bringing along other than just financing them?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Indeed, the climate change is here with us.
Yes.
And we've seen the negative effect it has done to our smallholder farmers.
Yes.
And indeed, as a financial institution, we are equally affected negatively. So what are we doing as Vision Fund? For us now is to refocus in terms of which variations are we focusing on, and which farmers are we focusing on, which technologies are these farmers that we are financing are adopting. So we are really emphasizing on the need for our farmers to adopt smart agriculture technologies.
Yes.
We may not be there to promote, but for us to finance a particular farmer or individual, we must make sure that we work with other partners that I've already said, who are whose main core business is to provide the extension services. So for us to finance them, we make sure that these farmers have undergone and are adopting the new technologies, smart agriculture technologies. So that is part of our requirement in terms of financing. In addition to that, we also ensure that our smallholder farmers have access to insurance.
Yes.
So again, we love to work with partners who are providing the insurance.
Yes, sir.
So currently we have the crop insurance that our smallholder farmers are able to access. This insurance are embedded within the loan that we are giving them, especially those that are doing rain-fed crop production.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there is an insurance tool package for them that is embedded within the loan. But in addition to that, we are looking at the agronomic knowledge that our clients have. So for us to finance, we must be satisfied that they are indeed adopting the smart agriculture technology. Some of these practices like conservation agriculture.
Yes.
Is at that stage.
I love the part of insurance because this gives the farmers the confidence whether they don't harvest as they are anticipating, but of course, insurance will give them that cover. So let's really zero in on insurance itself. How far have you gone with it, or how are the smallholder farmers accepting this issue of insurance? How has it been? Are they embracing it wholeheartedly, or probably some of them are still skeptical about it?
Yeah, I think so far we've seen a positive response from our smallholder farmers.
Okay.
Yes, but we still have more work to do to educate our farmers in terms of them accepting fully the insurance. It may be new to them.
Yes.
Most of them may be new to them, and they may have different understanding about the insurance. Remember, I think most of these insurances has been maybe on people just hear about insurance related to vehicles and others. But for us smallholder farmers, probably that is new. When you tell them about
Crop insurance,
what is it? So we actually work hand in hand with our partners to ensure that we educate our smallholder farmers. I think a lot of work, it's work in progress actually.
Yes.
A lot of organization are into it to educate our smallholder farmers to ensure that they know about these insurance products, what they are and what they can benefit from. Yes, I think that we are doing quite well with our partners.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you say your working relationship with the insurance companies is as good as you anticipated? Are you in good working relationships with them?
So far, we have no problems. So far, I think our working relationship has been okay. We just appeal that we can scale up more.
Okay.
From where we are. I think looking at the information, the way it is flowing, we would like it to flow more so that our smallholder farmers have the knowledge, full knowledge, that they understand this insurance. Yes, from our end, we can tell them about, we have this loan product, it is insured, but I think the other part also should be by our partners to insure, because they are the ones that have that product.
Yes.
We have just combined so that a farmer can just have access. It's just one-stop shop so that as you're getting a loan, you can also get insurance. So there's also a need from the end of the insurance service provider to do more in terms of educating our our farmers out there.
Or maybe can it be the issue of how they are packaging their policies? Maybe some of those packages are not very favorable for the smallholder farmers. How do you look at that? Have you tried to have a look at some of those packages and how favorable are they to the smallholder farmers?
I think for me, the packages, there's not much really a big problem with the package.
Okay.
But just a matter of that, okay, this is a product that is being embedded with the loan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the question is, can a farmer walk up today and say, I don't need a loan, but I want to get an insurance because I want to protect myself.
Yes.
Do we have such farmers that can come up?
Well,
I think for me, that's why I see a gap there.
Okay.
It's only the farmer who will come and get a loan with VisionFund that will be able to access the insurance.
Yes.
But do we have standalone farmers? I think that's the direction we should go.
Okay.
Sure. If the loan is not there,
Yes.
but a farmer is able to go and buy the insurance. Because for me, as long as you're in production, you definitely need the insurance. You can't run away from that fact because of what we are seeing now. So you may not necessarily get a loan, but you should be able to go and open up yours in the knock at the insurance service provider and be able to buy an insurance product.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than it being embedded with a loan.
With the loan, yes.
Currently, the package is the farmers can only access it
Through the loan. Okay.
But I'm not so sure whether the insurance service providers have got the standalone product where the farmer can just go in and buy. And I think that's the situation personally I would like to see in the insurance sector, especially in the agriculture sector.
Okay.
I know insurances has been more focused on the commercial side.
Yes.
But to lead too much onto the smallholder farmers, the only way they can access it is through them probably getting a loan with either a financial institution like VisionFund. But I think for future, we would like to see where a farmer is well knowledgeable, can hook in any of the insurance service provider, get a loan, and definitely us will be more delighted to say, okay, you have an insurance product, it will be easy for us to lend to you.
Yes.
Other than it, we're us embedding it with a loan. I think that's another way we can make this product accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, most of the finance or financing, as we put it, like from your end, is to do with production. When they come to get a loan from you, it will be channeled to production to increase their productivity and, of course, improve on their production levels. But one thing we should not rule out is the issue of value addition. As VisionFund, when these entrepreneurs knock at your door, can they access finance for processing, packaging, as well as adding value to their produce? Do you have such loans?
Yes, I think our model as a VisionFund, we look at the value chain financing approach.
Okay.
So when we look at that, we are looking at from all players in the value chain, starting from we have input suppliers up to the market.
Yeah.
So all these players in here, we have products that caters for them, loan products that caters for them.
Good.
We are not only focusing on production, we are also focusing on the processing part.
Okay.
So we have agri-entrepreneurs who are there.
Yes.
Who can access a loan facility with us. We have input suppliers.
Yes.
Who also can access a loan facility with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So definitely as VisionFund, we have loan products that cross-cuts across all the players in the value chain.
And Mr. Mambwe, so how's been the response from these agripreneurs now that those loans are there to be accessed from your end? How has been the response from them?
Yeah, for us so far,
are they aware about the same?
Yes, I can't say all of them are aware, but we have a good number of our agri SMEs.
Yeah,
especially like I've told you, who are coming through partners.
Okay,
yeah, these partners that are facilitating agri entrepreneurs. So with those, definitely they should be able to access a facility with us, and they are aware about it.
Okay.
Yes.
In terms of equity, in terms of getting these finances, when we look at probably the young people and women do they have equal access to these value chain finance opportunities from your institution? Or if not, then what could be the hidden bottlenecks?
Yeah, I think for us, we, as I earlier on alluded, our product portfolio covers everyone.
Yes.
Yes, being men, women, and the youth. I think I'm proud of to say that our products close-cuts, it doesn't discriminate anyone. Yes, but it puts everyone to access.
Yes.
Yes, and we remember we are child focused, and mostly we focus on the women.
Yes.
And about 70% of our loan portfolio consists of women.
That's good.
Yes, and definitely now we are seeing a trend to also the market in terms of the youth. Yes, we also have the youth market there. Our loan consisting of the youth. We don't discriminate. Even persons with disabilities.
They are also included in there.
Definitely, we cover them. Yes.
I love the part of the people with persons with disabilities. How has been their response as well? Because probably they might not be aware about the same. They think maybe this is not part of us. How has been their response?
Maybe the response would be slow because of lack of information out there. Maybe we need to do more to educate our target clients. We have these ones that you can easily access also.
Would we say your publicity hasn't been good enough?
Not necessarily, it hasn't been good enough. So maybe we haven't done more.
Where's the missing link?
We haven't done more that people are aware, especially our colleagues. We must make sure that we have a deliberate policy to include them even in our advertising programs as we are running. So that we definitely what is needed is to single it out, let it come out.
Yes.
There is.
Let it be very vivid.
Vivid, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's what I can say on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the information.
Yes. No wonder we have this platform here.
Sure, definitely. I think we'll be glad that this platform will be able to help us reach out to the people with special needs who may need a loan with us.
Okay, that's good. You are still on AgriTalk Africa, where we talk agriculture. This is your host, Penjali Nzimba. And of course, my guest today, just as I did tell you in my preamble, is Mr. Alfred Mambwe, who happened to be the Agribusiness Manager from VisionFund. We're still moving on, Mr. Mambwe, on our program. And of course, we have to look at something different from what we talked about. We looked at climate change. We also looked at value addition. But of course, we can switch on something else in terms of farmers being hesitant to come and borrow from your institution, in as much as they can be aware that VisionFund is there to give them the loan, but there could be that skepticism which comes along with it, hesitation. What would you say has been the biggest discouragement from some of these farmers, or why are they afraid to take the leap and come to VisionFund and borrow from you?
Yeah, I think, lending or borrowing has been, even me who works, I get scared. Debt management becomes
it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary because of what we've heard. There's this notion that someone borrowed, the parents came in, and
those
stories, which most of us have.
Yeah,
you feel if I borrow, definitely maybe they might confiscate my house, my children will suffer, and all those things that we have seen. But I think for me, the issue is about borrowing for the right reason.
Okay.
So if you are going to borrow, if you're in business and you want to borrow, and you feel that your business needs some external funding,
yes,
and you have looked around and you feel, okay, I can go and get a loan with VisionFund, definitely you should come with the right reason.
Okay.
For me, that reduces you facing such problems or fears that you have.
Yeah.
So it's all about fear people have, and probably because of past experiences. For those that borrowed for the wrong reason, for those that borrowed for the wrong reason, they ended up finding themselves unable to repay the loan, and as a result, probably the institution says, okay, no, you gave us this as collateral, and we'll go ahead and proceed and get confiscate. Yes, I think for me, it's not a desire for a financial institution to reach that stage where they go and confiscate, because it brings a lot of trauma to families.
Exactly.
But the more reason is, the question is, why did you borrow? Did you borrow for the right reason? Probably, yes, there could be other calamities that might come on your way, but I think as financial institutions, we are able to understand as long as you come on the table and negotiate. Yeah, so I think for me, the biggest challenge has been the same thing we were looking at, fear.
Yes.
Some of them, because one, they don't have probably the needed collateral for them to secure a loan facility. Yeah. Some because of lack of information, financial literacy is lower. They may not know where to go or where to start from. So I think those could be some of the hindrances that our smallholder farmers have. Right?
I love what you've just put across, how you've explained it, and there could be some smallholder farmers out there who are still holding on to that fear, maybe thinking they don't have good enough collateral that will allow them to come to VisionFund, knock at your door, and you allow them in, sit down with them, and have a discussion. And as they walk out, they go back home smiling because you've granted them that loan. Just run us through the kind of collateral that you look at when a smallholder farmer comes and knock at your door when they want funding from you. What kind of collateral do you look at?
Yeah, I think for me, I may not emphasize much on the collateral, but I want to explain that as VisionFund, we recognize, because the kind of clientele we serve out there don't have collateral.
Okay.
And that's a fact.
Yes.
You can't run away from that. So we've come up with a product that indeed our lending methodology is to provide for those that don't have the needed collateral. They need a loan. They can come through to VisionFund in a group of 5 or 10.
Oh, okay.
So we promote co-guarantorship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that one, it covers for those that don't have the needed collateral. So you can come and borrow in a groups of 5. You can 5 of you guarantee each other. So if you fail to pay, you say, okay, no, I'll be able to cover up.
You'll be covered.
Yeah. But as long as you're borrowing for the right reason, I think for me it works well. But if among 5 of you, you have one as a different reason, motive, definitely you have
and it affect the whole group.
Yeah, and that's why we see people complaining about group lending. They say, no, I can't be in groups. But it's a good way, because it eliminates the issue of collateral.
Okay.
Yeah, so the collateral that is demanded, one, we have definitely movable assets we do accept, and non-movable assets, land in particularly. But I must emphasize on the issue of land. We know for sure that smallholder farmers out there, they don't have titled land.
Yes.
Which is on title.
Yeah.
But we accept land, obviously, that the traditional leadership has endorsed. So obviously working with the traditional leadership, if you're able to endorse, then that is also admitted as collateral for our smallholder farmers.
I believe, and I'm very sure that our viewers have got it, that you can come in a group as smallholder farmers, borrow for the right reasons. Don't borrow to go and buy a Pajero or a Ford Ranger, because at the end of it all, you affect the entire group. This is AgriTalk Africa, and of course, we talk agriculture. Mr. Mambwe, let's look at it from a bigger perspective. Let's look at it from the continental point of view. Is there any trend that you would point out and say this gives us an optimistic view for the better agriculture future in terms of the continent Africa? Is there any trend that you can point at today and say this one would definitely take the agriculture of Africa to the whole world? Is there any trend?
Yeah, I think for me, when you look at government pronouncement and the emphasis that government has made, and not only government, but the region, the southern region, the entire Africa.
Yes.
I think we've been much emphasis on improving agriculture.
Okay.
As you, on the beginning preamble, you did mention that most of the economies, the backbone is centered on agriculture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we've seen many. What we need is more investments.
Okay.
In areas to do with infrastructure.
Okay.
In areas to do with the same. The cost of inputs are quite higher. Yeah. So if we see more of those investments being done, the issue of markets opened up. You don't need to close up our markets. Let's open up our borders.
Yes.
Let's promote value addition at national level, at country level, and indeed at regional and the global level. If we have more of those value addition, companies opening up, definitely to trigger down in terms of production. So currently, most of what we are having is a situation where, and identifying which value chains should we focus on, which value chains are we good at.
Okay.
I know we are focused much more on crops, but we also have other sectors like livestock, aquaculture, coming on board. Yeah, so we could see that if we diversify our agriculture and looking at those other sectors, I think that would be okay. And also when you look at promoting manufacturing industries that are agri-based, how many of them do we have? Other than us exporting raw materials, let's start adding value to most of what we are producing. I think that will create markets for our farmers. Currently, I think for example, in Zambia, I think for me, I used to know about cotton, but much of this cotton was just lint cotton. The rest of it is exported. But if we had textiles industry to add value to produce the chitenge that we need.
Exactly. Like in the past, we had a few textiles, textiles.
Yeah, so the other area I see, which is more organized, maybe probably the dairy. I said Parliament pulled out, but I don't know why they pulled out. But if we could have all those, companies that can add value to our milk, we would see more people producing milk. Because what is limiting them is the issue of the market. Yeah, if market is there, they're able to produce. But now, if these industries are not well set up, all we do is just produce, maybe send to other countries for further processing. I think that one will not improve our agriculture sector.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Mambwe, it's always a pleasure to have you on a program. But I'm not closing yet. Yes. If an opportunity was accorded to you to make one wish, but of course I'm not giving you that. If I say I gave you the opportunity to design a policy or an initiative that will transform the farmer financing for tomorrow, what would it be?
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, what I would like you, just as you, Mr. Ma, what I would like to see is a well-coordinated value chain. A policy that will promote coordination into the value chain. Look, most of our smallholder farmers, they just go into production without knowing where they're going to sell. Okay. To me, that has been a very big problem because just produce tomatoes. You don't know where you sell it tomorrow, sell it to. So, we have a situation where everyone is producing tomatoes.
And because they have Soweto market.
But if we have an organized system, because we know how many farmers are producing, if we can have that database. We have so many farmers, so many hectares under cultivation of tomato. Right now we have onion, which is, for me, I think it's in short supply. If you go on the market, you find how much onion is selling.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive. Yes. But do we have that database for us to know, okay, we have so many farmers that are in production, in the onion production, so many hectares. This tomato will be ready, or this onion will be ready in the next 3 months. We have that trend, a well-organized system. I think for me, that would really help our smallholder farmers. Don't just wake up today and say, I'm going to go into onion production. It must be well coordinated. You must know where you're going to
sell your produce.
Your produce. That way it will help us. Otherwise, we'll be flooding the market, making it quite difficult. And, I mean, that has been a big problem with the smallholder farmers.
Okay.
Especially those that are doing tomato production, these vegetables. You find that today you are told, okay, in March, they will be, during this period, we expect prices to go up.
Yes.
But unfortunately, you don't know how many farmers have started producing. By the time you realize coming in June, the market is flooded. Your tomato box is down.
It brings the prices down.
Yeah. So we find out these policies where, if you look at supermarkets, stores,
yes, sir,
how many of these supermarkets are getting produce from smallholder farmers?
Of course, they're quite few.
They're quite. So you should see there's a link. There's not. The chain there is very weak. From our smallholder farmers, let's take for the smallholder farmers in Chumba. As you travel there, most of those, where do they sell? It's just open market.
Exactly.
Do they have probably a person who sits in between, giving them a better price to link them to chain stores like the ones that we have? Whatever conditions that they have, for me, they can still pass on.
Yeah.
Some of these super chain stores have been in Zambia for a long time.
Yes.
So they can't claim to say, no, the quantities.
Yeah, they the
standards, most of
has been probably the poor quality
farmers don't meet. No, let's have what you want.
Okay.
Educate our smallholder farmers, and they're able to produce, provided we assure them that this, whatever they're producing, will be bought at a profit. I think that way to help, if it could be that policy that would be able to be centered on ensuring that these markets are well organized, our smallholder farmers are able to produce definitely in terms of quality, quantity is a greater issue here. So if these are harmonized, I think for me, who see a future for agriculture, especially in Zambia and the rest of the region, especially in Africa, something that we'll be smiling at. And indeed, in terms of food security, we'll be food secure. Yeah, I think much more is about us being food secure and also increasing income and subsequently reducing poverty among our people.
I'm looking at you critically and loving just that smile. How I'm hoping that a day can come in future when you'll be given that opportunity, create that policy you've spoken about, and then we see much of your smile, but on other people's faces.
Sure.
Wow, that's good. Before we close, or before I let you go, they always say saving the best for last. And this is what I'm about to do. Do you have any surprising statistics? Of course, a lesson or an experience that really stuck with you. It's just there in you. Every time you walk, you think about it, and of course it reveals something deeper about the state of agri-finance today. Do you have anything?
I think for me, what I can speak on is our experience with our partner, who are Good Nature Agro and World Vision, where we are financing farmers that are doing beans production.
Okay.
When I visited that area in Luwingu, I was very touched to see the commitment that our smallholder farmers put in.
Yes.
You know, the love that they have for what they are doing. You know, he is a family household, a husband and wife. They come to VisionFund, working with the partners, they access a loan. And when they cultivate, you know, just that effort they have put in, for me, I was very, very touched.
Okay.
What touched me more was the issues to look at access to the affordability of the finances. Yes, for me, I feel if they are able to get access to affordable finance, which for me would be great. Currently, because of the cost of doing business, you find that the pricing probably of our product, most of these financial institutions, we find that the pricing are quite maybe on a higher side.
Yes, sir.
But most of them may not afford. So for me, if we have access to affordable finances, and you see many of the land which will be brought into cultivation.
Yes.
That will be okay. That will be great. For me, beans is a cash crop.
Yes.
For those livelihood farmers in those areas. Mm-hmm. And in terms of pricing, it fetches a good price where we have these, especially like in this case, we have Good Nation, which is offering a market for them.
Okay.
And if that is well coordinated, definitely we would see the livelihood of our smallholder farmers improve and reduce poverty at the household level and our well-being of a child.
And of course, it will make them to continue smiling.
Yes.
That's like you're smiling today. Of course, that has culminated into a laughter.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe the last thing would be on the issue of climate change. I think, yes, this is an area that, we need concerted effort from all the players.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so for VisionFund to get attracted to enter certain markets, definitely just to de-risk itself.
Okay.
So, and the issues of climate that is affecting production is probably maybe hindering us to extend further.
Okay.
Credit to those that may need. So,
yes,
we need the innovative solutions around that. Things to do with guarantee schemes. We hope the guarantee schemes that is under, I think under government.
Yes,
if it could probably open up and see how we can tap into it, especially the microfinance institutions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that will be great.
Okay.
And looking forward to a situation where we offer very affordable finance for our smallholder farmers.
Okay.
Sure. Doing business especially in rural areas is very costly.
Okay.
We're looking at the infrastructure.
Yes.
There's a telecommunication.
The road network, the telecom.
Telecommunication. You look at things, especially right now, you don't want people to be handling cash. You want just, you're sitting, digitalization
of your home.
Yeah. But again, you find you are limited in terms of, you have for this farmer who's living in the rural area, he has no network.
No network, yes.
And then he accesses a loan with VisionFund. He has to travel
from there
to come and access money where it's nearby. I think that also is a cost on our smallholder farmers.
Okay.
And that also maybe hinders them. You have to make repayments. You have to travel. But why can't you just sit in your comfort of your home, do a transaction, you transfer? Those services we have, but because of the nature of these areas,
the infrastructure,
it's
not probably available for those that are in the
yes, makes it quite challenging for financing.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think that's what I can say. We are very grateful. We hope the message will go out there. VisionFund has got loan products, well-tailored loan product that fits across every category of smallholder farmers, whether you are in production, whether an agri-SME, special, you have the special needs. Definitely. As long as you're in business, you show us, definitely we are able to reach out to you and be able to give you a very affordable loan product. Thank you very much, Mr. Zim.
Okay, so viewers, you've heard it for yourselves. This is AgriTalk Africa. And of course, we talk agriculture, as we always say. My guest today has been Alfred Mambwe. I'm very cautious about how.
Maybe the name is Msumbi.
Msumbi, yes. So it's Alfred Msumbi Mambwe, and he is the Agribusiness Manager at VisionFund. Mr. Mambwe, thank you very much for hosting us here. And to our viewers, we really thank you for taking time to watch AgriTalk Africa, because we talk agriculture. Until we meet again, this has been your host, with the host, of course, Benjamin Zima, also known as Uncle P. Let's keep pushing, let's keep moving, and let's work together. Until we meet again, bye-bye.
Across Africa, the soil tells a story of hands that plant hope, of women and men who rise with the sun, shaping the future of our food, our land, and our economies. This is AgriTalk Africa, the podcast that puts farmers first. We go beyond the headlines to bring you authentic conversations with people driving change in African agribusiness. From financial literacy to climate-smart farming, from the challenges of rural financing to the triumphs of innovation. We educate, we inform, and we inspire. Welcome to AgriTalk Africa, where agriculture meets action.